Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We're so excited to have you. I'm Wendy Wallbridge, and I'm your host tonight. Hello. Really, really excited to have you here. And I just want to start out by thanking our sponsors. Really particularly, I want to thank Mary Anderson. Please stand up, from Dolby, if you can, in those shoes. And Robin Selden from Netgear. Thank you very much. I also want to thank our team, led by the multi-talented Rhonda Walker. I'm not sure if she's here. There she is, Rhonda. Thank you so much. So most of you know that this event was born out of the TED event we had last December, which, how many of you were there? Oh, yes. Okay. So you know it was incredible, and it was sold out weeks in advance, and the response we got, I mean, the experience of being there was pretty amazing, and then the response afterwards that we got was so positive that I just knew that I didn't want it to just be once a year. And your appetite for more, I mean, we have this TEDx Sand Hill Road Facebook page that people have joined and joined and joined. And so we really just feel the desire that women have and the appetite that we have for coming together. Because when we come together, we inspire each other, we encourage each other, we help each other professionally. There's just so much good that comes out of it. And I am really committed to continuing this relationship and to building it and growing it. And we're doing it under the auspices of this name, Women's Evolutionary Leadership. So we are at this incredible flashpoint where women coming into their power meets the need in the world for feminine values, feminine strengths, and feminine wisdom. It's a flashpoint. This is really happening. So we're feeling called. And we know that when women come together, when they gather, when they think together, when they problem solve, when they're engaged, good things happen. Not just GDP, not just profit, bottom line profit, not just workplaces becoming more humane, but communities get better. So we're not women fighting for women here. We are a society fighting for humanity. And that's what we're about. So there are lots of positive signs that women are changing the world and that they're stepping up and engaging. A few of them are. 2013 saw a record number of congresswomen take office. There was a passage of the Violence Against Women Act, the break time for nursing mothers provision in the Fair Labor Standards Act, Eve Ensler's 1 Billion Rising movement. Eve was one of the speakers at our TEDx Sand Hill Road event in December. That movement marked the largest global action in history to end violence against women and girls. Marianne Williamson's Sister Giant Conference, which was held again this year, which is really for getting more women into political office and to uplift the tenor of American politics. And that's a really wonderful organization that you should tune into. I watched it online this year, and it was just really moving and really empowering. And then we had our first ever all-women delegation voted into office in New Hampshire. And in Rwanda, more than half of parliament is comprised of women. So there's just a few things, but really to take stock that we're making progress, we're moving the needle. And also grateful to Sheryl Sandberg for Lean In. It's part of a conversation that has really gained urgency and caught fire to one of the world's biggest problems, the lack of women in power and why we're not where we want to be. And so I'm really grateful to her for that. You know the stats. There's only 4.2% of the Fortune 500 CEOs that are women. Women hold 14% of executive officer positions, 16% of board seats, 18% of Congress, and 20 out of 100 seats in the Senate. So the world is changing, but it's not changing fast enough. It's what's called a causality dilemma, which is a fancy way of saying chicken and the egg. You know, causality dilemma means like until one thing happens, the other doesn't. So, you know, until there's equal representation of women in leadership, we're not going to be able to change the masculine power structures. It's like the demands and the pressure cooker of organizations that requires that when you play at a high level. There's not that many of us that want to do that. So it's this dilemma that we're in. So let's remember, we don't need to do leadership like anyone else has. Leadership is evolving. And my sense is the future of leadership is you and me unleashed. That is the future of leadership. Seriously. And he's going to prove that for me. So the goal for women is to feel empowered to lead the life you choose to lead. Not everybody wants to be a CEO, and they're not meant to be a CEO. So the real goal is just for us to be able to lead the lives we choose to lead the lives we were meant to lead, and to have the tools, the inner confidence, and the outer opportunities to do that. So what I found from working with powerful women for 3 decades is that we don't need to be told to lean in when we're in touch with our calling. When we've re-engineered the limiting thoughts that have held us hostage, and we've excavated the calling that is just ours to have, and the gifts and the passion that is ours to have, when we've excavated that, we're unstoppable. Truly. We tend to want to lean in, we voluntarily lean into the things that we're afraid of, which builds our capacity for expressing ourselves authentically more and speaking truth to power that changes things, which creates just this self-reinforcing upward spiral. So we need to do this simultaneous effort to continue to unleash ourselves, tell the truth in our lives, be as authentic as we can, and wherever we are, to look for how we can change the systems, the schools, the society, the workplace, so that it better accommodates women and so that we can better serve humanity.